It's too cold this week. Hey Tom, it's too cold this week to do the show outside for the JS report.
Of course, you got shorts on.
Guys, my first take this week, some recap action from the week before. 6A, Bartlett 28, Brentwood 7. The battle of the Germantown area, Germantown prevailed 24-14. 5A, Springfield 38, Mumford 13. Good year for the Cougars, just fell a little bit short in that one. 3A, Covington 42, Millington 0. Good win for the Chargers. Good season for the Trojans in general. Lost 42-0, but still nothing to be ashamed of. You won 7 games this year, and you won a first-round playoff game on the road. Huntington 48, Fairleigh 6, and Fairleigh lost. And that was their first loss of the season. 1A, you still got Mace still alive. They won 42-12 over Lake County. Peabody 42, BTW 18. And all the private schools in the Memphis area seem to be eliminated now. 2 AAA, you got Baylor 42, MUS 16, NBA 33, Christian Brothers 14. Then 2 AA, CPA 21, Lausanne 13, and CPA came back in that one. That's my take 1 this week. Alright, my take 2 this week. Barley Express editor, Mr. Terry H. People call him around the city, apparently. Terry, thank you for joining me this week.
Good to be here.
First of all, I want to give you a lot of credit for filling in for me that 1 week, so I do appreciate it. With Thomas, that meant a lot to our viewers, and a lot of people enjoyed that content from you as well.
Well, I was off last week for the big game against Brentwood, so I appreciate you filling in for me.
No problem. I just, to me, you've seen the stats I sent you over the weekend as well. You saw where Barley dominated in that performance against Brentwood. They held Brentwood only one time past the 50-yard line in the first half, and they just dominated on both sides of the ball in the first half against Brentwood.
-3 rushing for the game. So, again, their defense stepped up huge. That's been the strength of their team all year, and their offensive line, which Snap Reed pointed out that, when they're running it like that, they rest their defense and just moving the ball down the field, keep the other offense off the field. They're going to have to do that against Germantown.
Absolutely, and I think, like another key fact going into this game like this was last week, you're going to have to put pressure on the quarterback in this one. And it's no shaming that they're a quarterback at Brentwood, but this player for Germantown is more athletic on both sides of the football as well.
Right.
Now Isaiah Tate cannot have all day to throw the football as well in that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they got a lot of quick players, Mason and Morrow. They can break plays just like that, so you gotta contain them and like you said, keep them off the field as much as you can.
I hope it doesn't come down to a shootout, in my honest opinion, because I know a lot of people want to see like fireworks and whatnot in this athleticism game.
Right.
But with it being going to be cold, windy, possibly.
Right.
It could be like a low-scoring defensive affair because Germantown's defense is pretty good as well.
Yeah.
And you can't be ashamed of that as well.
Right. Well, I think Bartlett's got the tools. They just got to keep a balance, and run the ball effectively. They got to be able to run the ball effectively. Braylon has stepped up in recent weeks and become a runner in his own right. He's kind of like taking the team on his shoulders, and he knows when they need a big play, he can do it with his legs. So look for him to break a couple of runs.
Yeah, hopefully you just don't run him too much, and hopefully, in my honest opinion, because last week I was wondering at times, are we just using him as a weapon too much at times? Because I know he's athletic and he can handle hits and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when it's a different temperature and a different game like this, it could affect the body in a way also.
Well, we're getting down to it. They've only got a few games left. You got to go balls to the wall, as they say. So, if we need him to run some, he's going to have to step up and run. But hopefully, we've got a good contingent of runners. So hopefully we won't need him that much.
And also, to me, this game could very well come down to special teams, where Germantown's got a great kicker, and he's a Mr. Football semifinalist. And Bartlett has been really not struggling as of late, but they did miss some key field goals in that Brentwood game, where they could have used some more points at times as well throughout the game as well. And it could go down to special teams. But fans, if anybody wants to go out to watch the Bartlett Germantown game, get there early. The game starts at 7 o'clock. And parking could be a little bit rough at times, just like it is at Germantown. So I advise you to get there probably about an hour to an hour and a half early, just to enjoy the atmosphere, talk to fellow friends, to family members, to these players and coaching staff. And let me give credit to also the coaching staff of Bartlett and the coaching staff of Germantown as well, because Coach Robinson and the gang worked so hard as well over at Germantown, and they have succeeded over the years as well with a great talent at Germantown with Coach Robinson. But like you said, coaching staff for both teams is going to be fun to watch on the Friday night. Like I said, get there early, and if you see Terry, tell him thank you for everything that he does for the city as well.
Okay. See you out there.
Real quick, another look ahead for this week. I got Dyersburg 8-4 traveling to Covington 10-2. Peabody 10-2 traveling to Mace, and that game is at Melrose. Coach Miller and Mace still stay undefeated in that one. I got to meet up this past weekend with some players from Bartlett and some of the coaching staff at Bartlett as well. I got to meet up with Andrew Martin, the onside kick returnalist, for a touchdown from 50 yards out. I got to meet up with Nick Luster, another key player on Bartlett's defense, who got a lot of tackles in that one against Brentwood. And I also got to meet up with Jeremiah Snap Reed, but people like to call him Snap Reed, one of the receiving cores for Bartlett Panthers as well. And then I got to meet up with Coach L.A. Owens as well to talk about a little bit of a defense philosophy going into this hostile environment Friday night against Germantown. So that's my take 3 this week. All right. Second question is, give me some key games throughout the year that you enjoyed playing in the most, that you saw turning point.
For me, the biggest turning point was Houston. Really gave us the motivation to beat Colleyville and Whitehaven, all of them.
So why Houston?
I think it was because it was such a close game and they're one of our big rivals. And coming into the game, we weren't supposed to win. So,
you're talking with Coach Owens a little bit throughout the year as well, that you guys did hold Chandler Day in pocket pretty well throughout the game as well. And then y'all did stop the running game when it didn't matter most against CSAC. So that's one good game that I'm glad you brought up, because that's kind of like a turning point for a lot of people. That some people said, well, Houston's got more experience, Carver had more experience. But nobody really has talked about the Bartlett defense at all year long as well. Andrew, talk about the look ahead at Germantown with me. I know they got some weapons on offense. How does your defense going to keep Germantown off the field on third downs?
I think our DBs are really going to stay deep and cover. I think the most important thing is the game tackling and just wrapping them up, because they do have the running back, and they love to hit. So, big challenge.
And I also think, Isaiah Tate, y'all should not give him all day to throw the football.
Yeah.
And to me, with that defensive line and linebacker crew that y'all got, y'all really need to put more pressure on them when it's going to be mattering the most as well, because you can't have them all day throwing the football.
I do agree with that.
Guys, this week, Nick Lester joins me. Nick, first of all, congratulations on the hard-fought win Friday night against Brentwood, 28-7. Talk about that game in general with me, if you don't mind.
We knew Brentwood was a good team. They beat us a couple years back, and a lot of us were on that team as backups, but we had a lot of vengeance coming because it's sad to see your boys go out like that, especially a team like that. And so our whole preparation that week was you gotta play physical. You gotta 48 minutes as hard as you can, nose to the ball every single play. So I think we came out and we executed that pretty well.
I always told people this game, probably the time of possession, probably could have been the difference of the game. Good credit to y'all defense for getting off the field and let your offense back on the field and control that clock as well.
Yeah, I think our offense is amazing, man. I think Braylon at quarterback is just anything can happen. Any play that you think's dead, he can make it happen. You got Snap and Deshaun when they out there at receiver. The boys can move, so you don't give them too much time. They'll find some space and they'll go make something happen for us and get our defense some time to rest. So.
Guys, this week also I got another special guest in Snap Reed. Snap, thank you for joining me. Snap, first question. Talk about Friday night's atmosphere. Y'all won the game 28-7 over a quality team in Brentwood.
It was a good atmosphere. We won the game strictly because the O-line was blocked. They blocked real well that game, and defense was holding to 14 points, I think, right?
7
points.
7.
Yeah, defense held them to 7 points, and the O-line was blocking, so the run game was real big for us, and it took pressure off on our quarterback and the receivers.
Talk about how important the time of possession, like I talked about with Nick. The time of possession, I said at halftime to the Coopers on the broadcast that the time of possession is going to be the difference in the game, and it turned out y'all had 30 minutes of offense.
Yeah, when your O-line is blocking like that, we were driving the ball down the field, just running the ball. We give the defense time to take a break, and every time the defense got back on the field, they stopped them. So every time when we had the ball, we kept running, they couldn't do anything about it.
All right, Jeremiah, this next question for you is, talk about the season so far with me.
The season so far has been pretty good. We're 82 in the regular season. We got these 2 big playoff wins, so that's good.
Like talked about Nick, also, give me like the turning point for you throughout the year that could have basically got you over the hump.
The turning point throughout the year was the Germantown game. We took a real tough loss. So I think that sparked a fire in everybody and all my teammates throughout the year, and we ended up going undefeated.
Talk about the look ahead with me with Germantown. I know, like you said, y'all lost a tough one by 1. But you talk about the defense of Germantown playing against Bartlett's offense. What could be the turning point in that one?
Germantown defense, they got a real good defense. They got real good athletes on O-line, D-line, and then on D-line. Then they got athletes in the secondary. If we're able to do what we're supposed to do and throw the ball on, we can win.
Okay, man, I'm putting you on the spot now. Best win up to date?
Carterville game.
Why?
Because we got weighed off last season. Carterville last year, they didn't shake our hands when they beat us. They just weighed us off the field. So it's good to be coming back and beating them this season.
All right, Jeremiah, Snap. Good luck the rest of the way, man.
Thank you.
All right, Jonathan Sturdivant here for the JS Report and for West 10 Media. Coach Owens, congratulations on the hard-fought win tonight, 28-7. Talk about the game with me.
And we had last week giving up 21 points in the second half to Centennial. As a defense, everybody embraced. We got to learn how to finish. When you go in at halftime and you only give up 7 points, and you come out and give up 21 in the second half, that's not something you ever want. So this week, that was our main focus. The kids played hard. The box interior stopped everything, stopped the run, and the guys on the back end played their tails off and stopped the pass. So as a unit, we played lights out.
What can you tell me about your leadership on the defense end tonight?
And the leadership is phenomenal amongst the guys themselves. There's one guy, a leader here, or a leader here. Man, they're all leaders.
That's what I'm saying. The whole team's on defense, yeah.
You can't say, oh, this guy's a leader. The defensive unit, they all run together. They all get to the ball. Game tackling was a big thing for us tonight. And the guys came out and executed everything that we worked on.
What can you say about your offense? I know you're a defensive guy also, but talk about your offense a little bit.
The offensive they've been clicking. Last week, we come out and score 46 on Centennial, and then we come out again tonight and able to put up 28 points, able to establish the run, answer on third downs like we're supposed to, and make big pass plays down the field. but Braylon connecting with Katron and Snap, and even DJ Fain tonight. When we're able to do stuff like that and control the ball, possession-wise, and control, and come out on defense and get a lot of 3 and outs. I can't remember how many times we made them punt, but it was important. And I think we punted once tonight. So, and when you get stuff like that, you take that and you're taking it to next week.
And then the time possession, in my opinion, was a key stat going into tonight as well, because Brentwood usually holds the ball on offense a long time, also on their offense. Heck, Brentwood held Carville to 7 points last week, so you knew going in that it could have been a challenge for your offense, possibly going in this game as well. And like you said, the third down conversions was the key game in the first half as well, where you basically got that 71-yard pass down the field, as well.
Yes, sir.
So talk about the look ahead to Germantown Red Devils. I know y'all got Germantown a rematch of this year's game, 17-16 at Germantown, but now they come here to Bartlett. Talk about the Germantown game.
Man, the guys, we're going to celebrate now, but I know the guys are excited about getting to face them again. And they have them having to come to us this time. The guys are going to bust their tail. We're going to come out, scheme, plan, have a great week of practice, and hopefully come out and be able to keep doing what we're doing right now, man. In this playoffs, we've been able to score points. We've been able to play defense. If we continue to do that, we'll be fine.
Coach L.A., appreciate your time as always. Good luck next week, man.
Thank you, man, for sure.
All right, guys, my take 4 this week. There's some sad news to report on this one. The University of Virginia football player, Devin Chandler, a local product from here in Arlington High School community. Prayers go out to the players that knew him and to players that know him. From the Arlington days to the University of Wisconsin days to the University of Virginia days as well. So prayers go out to that community as well, and prayers go out to the University of Virginia community as well regarding the death of Devin Chandler. My best Devin Chandler moment would probably have been 2018 when they played Cordova Wolves. Thomas, you might remember that game a little bit, where the high scoring affair was the 72-63 game. When you saw D1 players all over the field in that one, when you saw with Cordova, Jeremy Banks, who scored 7 touchdowns in that one, you saw where Coach Jones at Cordova was basically having a lot of talent with Jerome Carvin on the offensive line. You had Christian Aaron Beatty, the quarterback, who was now at Kentucky Wesleyan playing football. And you just had all-around talent on that Cordova team that played at D1 or playing D1 right now or D2. But Devin Chandler stood out in that game to me basically because when Arlington was down by like 20 points in the fourth quarter, he said to his teammates on the sideline, "We're not done yet, guys. We got to keep on fighting." And he always had a smile on his face like a lot of people have brought up this week. And he enjoyed the game of football. And we had Tate Colwick, who basically one of his teammates during that time as well. And Coach Sykes brought it up well this week. Devin was an all-around player for that team. And me personally, I enjoyed watching Devin Chandler play the game of football, the game that he loved. And he will be missed in this area as well as not only one of the best players to come out of this area, but to play the college football as well. So Devin, we're going to miss you, man. Keep on watching over us. Keep on watching over your teammates this week as well. And Devin, we love you, man.
Man, JS Report, this has been a very special edition of the JS Report. You never know in this job, you might be meeting the next superstar. I've been blessed to cover great players like George Odom, who's a San Francisco 49er. And John has been helping us out for years here with the Bartlett Express, the Millington Star, and our papers in Germantown and Carville, the Herald, and Germantown News. And he's seen a lot of great players come through, and you develop relationships, and you never know when they're going to impact you. So the tragedy up in Virginia, we are sending our prayers out to the 3 players who died, and the 2 that were hit, we pray that they get well and that justice will prevail. But you just never know. But sitting at this desk, you do have an opportunity to be impacted by many people. And you remember the good moments. So hopefully we have some good moments this Friday. Germantown, Bartlett at Bartlett. It's going to be a showdown between 2 good teams, great teams. 1 point separated them. 17-16 in that regular season game that Germantown pulled out at home. It's too close to call. So it's going to be a great game. Show up and support those kids because you never know how long we got them. And you got to cherish them while we do have them. And also, I like to just send a shout out to my Millington Trojans. 7-win season, went up there. That 42-0 is very deceptive. It was one of those slow leak kind of games. They were more competitive. A couple calls could have gone their way. Things might have been different. Mumford, 11-0, first time in school history. And Springfield came in and proved that they're Springfield. But Coach Calhoun, guys, great season, great job. And like I said, we'll be seeing y'all soon as y'all are dynamic Power 10 champions for 2022. So it's a lot of good things that are coming up, but we do have to take a moment to realize the reality that life is short. And our prayers are going out to the Arlington Tiger football community because I know once a Tiger, always a Tiger. And we'll see you next week with the JS Report.